Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. It is January 9th, 2024, and Joe Biden, good old freaking Joey, is still by far the worst president in American history. And let me tell you something, folks. People are going to show up in the millions to vote for this guy. It's not bad enough yet. Oh yeah, we're starting off the show right now with Joe Biden, the geriatric, the puppet here, getting protested at a church during a speech, and then you have the people start chanting 4 more years for this guy. Let's roll it.
If you really care about the lives lost here, then you should honor the lives lost and call for a ceasefire in Palestine. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Everybody stand up! Ceasefire now! These guys act like they're freaking heroes, all right? We'll continue. I apologize. Listen to this. Watch, watch, watch. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, folks.
What, Joe?
I understand their passion.
Joe, you don't understand a damn thing, buddy. Okay? You don't know what the hell's going on. The purpose of me bringing that up is, you guys, it's not bad enough yet. Like, what is happening is not bad enough yet for these libs, for these lefties, for these progressive, and for the Democrats. They're still going to show up in millions to vote for this guy. They want another 4 years. Of what? Your grocery bills suck, you knuckleheads. Crime is through the roof, and you're chanting, "4 more years! I want 4 more years, everybody!" Shut up! Are you kidding me? You got Israel, Hamas. You got Iran wanting to wipe Western civilization off this earth, which includes you, you Democrats. Not you, the viewers, but Democrats that might be slipping in here. You got illegal migration in the millions. Unprecedented. Never has seen anything like it in American history. Wages are going through the roof, which is a good thing, unless you like paying $25 for a hamburger at McDonald's. I mean, you name it, it's all happening. Sex trafficking in the billions. Drug trafficking in the billions. Child trafficking in the billions. All established and exacerbated by who? The dude here. They want to give this guy 4 more years. Look at this, look at this. President Biden is exactly who we need in office right now. It's right there. It's right there. Look at, look at. I'm 100% confident that he is doing everything he can to protect as many innocent lives as he can. Not for just today, but for the years ahead. He's a good person. I trust him 4 more years. I told you they were out there. I told you. I don't know if it's satire by that person. Honestly, God, it's just to the point where when somebody says something as serious as 4 more years for Joe, you don't know whether to take it serious because he doesn't know what's going on. This is a guy that falls up a flight of stairs, hits a golf ball backwards. I love using that excuse. He hits a golf ball backwards because I guarantee you, in your entire life, not only have you never probably met anybody that's fallen up a flight of stairs going up, I guarantee you've never met anybody hit a golf ball backwards. Joe's done it. Joe's done a lot of crazy thing. Hey, look, if you found somebody that has fallen up a flight of stairs, hits a golf ball backwards, I got another one for you. I guarantee you've never met anybody looking for dead people in the crowd. Where's she at? Where's she at? She's been dead, Joe. She's not alive. But people are all for it, folks. It's not bad enough. The crime's not bad enough. The illegal immigration's not bad enough. Our foreign policy's not bad enough. Our debt's not bad enough. I mean, Democrats just love this stuff. It is the Democrats. I'm sorry, it is. It's not just the progressive left. It's not just left. The Democrats are going to vote for this guy. You got to get out there, folks. You got to get out there. So the fear-mongering has already started with Obama herself, Michelle Obama, who potentially, you guys, and I'm wondering if they're trying to throw her out here in the mix a little bit, she might be running in 2024. Look, guys, I just don't see Joe making it. That's the thing. Maybe. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I don't see him making it through. So somebody has to be in here in line of succession. So you got former First Lady and author Michelle Obama said she's terrified by what may come of the 2024 election. Oh, here we go again. A threat to democracy. He's going to ruin the country. Like, shut up, lady. Okay? You don't know anything. You got put in the White House because your husband. All right? You don't know a damn thing. You, air quotes, wrote a book. Whoa. And we're all supposed to take you serious here. And now you're fear-mongering, which we knew was going to happen. We know this was going to happen, right? They've been kind of putting the breadcrumbs out for us. They've been spreading the waters, putting out these news cycles that say Trump's a threat to democracy, to the republic. He's going to overthrow the government. And then they put like this whole vigil out for like January 6th. Like it was a huge deal. Oh, it's the worst thing that happened to this country. Sorry, forgive me. It's the worst thing that happened to this country. It was worse than 9/11. It was worse than Pearl Harbor. It wasn't. Oh, they were taking over the government. No, they weren't. You know what? If you're going to say that they were taking over the government with that amount of people in our capital, what does that say about the United States? Like, you think that was an actual insurrection and overtaking of our Republican government? Really? While the people are sitting there smoking, right? They're flipping the lighters up. They're having a little smoky smoke. Yeah, oh, God, yeah, no, it's insurrection. It's terrible. They're getting VIP tours around the Capitol, chauffeured around. Hey, this room's here. Here's Nancy Pelosi, the psycho's room, all this other stuff. Nice cigar lighter, by the way. You guys like that? Cheap. Like $10 on Amazon. But you understand what I'm saying here. It's insane, the narrative that's being pushed. And so now she's going to fearmonger, folks. She wants to freak everybody out. Because Democrats believe it. Democrats think Trump is a threat to democracy. Look what Joe's done. Look what Joey's done. That's the threat. I know I'm going off on tangents. Folks, and I know you know this, hundreds of terrorists being apprehended at the border. That's an actual threat to the country. You have millions of people, which we'll get to later. We don't have a clue on who the hell they are. And we finally got the real numbers from idiot DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, which I said we'll get to later. Hold on, we got a jam-packed show for you today, folks. Hit that like and subscribe button. We don't know who these people are. Okay, that's a real threat. That is a real damn threat. But Orange Bad, Mad. Oh my God, he's so scary. Oh my God. So in an episode of the On Purpose podcast, which was posted to YouTube on Monday, you have this host here asking Obama what keeps her up at night. Wow, what really the hardball questions there, huh? Well, what's going to happen in this next election? I'm terrified by what could possibly happen, Obama said as part of her answer, because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, and who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted. Okay, just take the whole idea of her talking about Trump and just apply it to Joe. Just apply it to Joe, you knucklehead, Obama. I have to say Obama because I don't want you guys to think I'm talking about you. I would never say something mean about you. We got the best community here. We got the best community of American patriots that anybody could have. So here's her saying as much. It's just astonishing. Just flip the words for Trump and her talking about Obama, or rather Biden. Same thing nowadays, right? Because Biden is the controller of the puppet, meaning Joe, just controlling Joey. Here we go.
The war in the region, in too many regions. What is AI going to do for us? The environment, are we moving at all fast enough? What are we doing about education? Are people going to vote? And why aren't people voting? Are we too stuck to our phones? I mean, those are the things that keep me up because you don't have control over them. Mm-hmm. And you wonder, where are we in this? Where are our hearts? What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted. The fact that people think that government, does it really even do anything? And I'm like, oh my God, does government do everything for us? And we cannot take this democracy for granted. And sometimes I worry that we do. Those are the things that keep me up.
Folks, what the hell? I mean, where do you start? Where do you start? She's going to sit there and say, well, people matter who's elected. Dude, your husband went after his political opponents with the IRS, lady. How about the Fast and Furious case where he gave cartels weapons to be used in crimes? And the hope was, oh, well, when the crime happens, we'll collect the guns and we'll be able to track down these criminals. Let that one sink in. You know what keeps me up at night? AI, cell phones, and our leaders being elected. I mean, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You've been suckling the government teat since your husband was a senator in Chicago or Illinois or whatever the hell he was. And, she's going to sit there and spew this intellectual stuff. Just put the picture as Biden himself, and you would see everything you need to see. I mean, her husband gave a sweetheart deal to the Iranians to build a nuclear warhead. She gave $1 billion, her husband, $1 billion in cash. No, you want to talk about be able to move money around? They didn't even do that under Obama, like you're seeing under Biden here, where Biden has frozen $6 billion in fungible funds that's supposed to be for humanitarian aid. No. Her husband just sent them $1 billion and said, use it for whatever the hell you want. What do you think they use that $1 billion for, you guys? Terrorism. Her husband, but she's going to sit there and lecture all of us about being worried about the next election. You want to know who should be worried? Conservatives, Republicans, and Americans with Joe Biden have another freaking 4 years in office, which the damage that he has done in just three. 40-year record inflation. All of you lost thousands of dollars in your retirement. 9.1%. 10 million plus people pouring across the border. Known terrorists, drugs, sex offenders, child traffickers, murderers, violent gang members. All this stuff. Foreign policy. China putting their warships in the Red Sea. Putting their warships right out there in the Indian Ocean. Right out there off the coast of Taiwan. Pushing more than ever to go after that country. You also have Iran wanting to, again, wipe Western civilization off the face of the earth. Iran performing terrorist attacks. ISIS is popping back up with their known terrorist attacks that just happened about a week ago. You got Israel, Hamas. You got Lebanon trying to take a little dab in there as well, as along with Syria. I mean, you name it. You literally throw a dart at the board. This all happened under Joe. And she's going to sit there and have the cojones to sit there. She's worried about the next election with Trump in office when there was peace. You used to like the guy because he ran the country better than your husband did, lady, and you're pissed about it and you're a little jealous. Obama added the fact that people think that government, doesn't really even do anything. No, we know it does stuff because you screwed us over in the same way that Biden is as well. On all fronts. Recent media reports about Obama's husband, former Barack Obama, has expressed deep concern about former President Donald Trump's political strength and tried to correct course President Biden's re-election campaign amid flagging poll and approval numbers. Folks, it's insane. If you recall on yesterday's episode, we covered the fact that Barack Obama had a phone call in late December, or was in person with Joe, one or the other, and discussing him about his election campaign because he's saying it's terrible. And they're freaking out. They're freaking out that Donald Trump might win again. And now they're taking to the airwaves here. I mean, when was the last time you saw the Obamas show up anywhere? All of a sudden they care about the country. All of a sudden they're terrified when it comes to election season. Where the hell were you the last 3 years? Speaking about what's going on. Acting like you care, my ass. Well, there you have it, folks. You got Michelle Obama, who possibly might be running for president. I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, they're not going to show up out Hillary. She's passing out left and right. And, Gavin Newsom's as much as an idiot as Joe Biden is. So we'll see what happens. But there you have it. The Obamas are out there trying to fearmonger people. You should be worried. You should be worried. I'll be worried once I hear that you're running for president. Then I'll be a little bit worried. Well, moving into our next story, speaking of illegal immigration, folks, Biden's sending millions overseas to address root causes. Your hard-earned money, not going to fixing roads or bridges or anything like that necessary to help Americans. Nope, it's going to other people to find the root causes of illegal immigration. And it's not working. No duh. Everything Democrats send money to doesn't work. homeless crisis that's happening in all Democrat-ran cities. Hundreds of millions of dollars going towards that. Only has gotten worse. Illegal immigration, pouring hundreds of millions of dollars towards that. It's only gotten worse. The drug problem in California, Democrat-ran cities, poured hundreds of millions of dollars towards that. Only gotten worse. So here we are once again. The Biden administration has sent tens of millions of dollars to Latin America countries for programs that address root causes of illegal immigration, as southern border crossings hit record highs. I mean, shattering record highs would probably be more specific. The Biden administration has spent at least $40 million on immigration-related projects, not even solving the problem, just trying to figure out, why could it be so bad? Why am I having tens of millions of people pour across the border? Because you're an idiot, Joe. Because you don't actually enforce the laws on the books. So you're spending $40 million on related projects in Latin America in fiscal year 2023, 40 mil in 1 year, that are supposed to help bring down illegal immigration from the region. If you're on audio, I'm just bewildered. Just bewildered. The projects have been part of the Biden administration's strategy to pump money into the region with a goal of decreasing illegal immigration. Oh my God. Somebody come slap me upside my head. As Biden has sent money abroad, Republican lawmakers have urged more funding for security measures at the southern border. So, no, you don't understand. He would rather preach that he wants to have more border security, but what he really wants to do is send your hard-earned money to other countries for root causes of immigration. What an idiot. Critics also pointed out that Biden's loose asylum policies and his revocation of Trump's Remain in Mexico policy as key reasons for the skyrocketing border crossings. You have the Federation of American or for American Immigration Reform, a nonprofit that advocates for solutions to uncontrolled immigration, told the Daily Wire that the actual root cause of the illegal immigration crisis is the Biden administration's immigration policy. They don't think so. The Biden administration, they don't have a clue. They think it's the weather, global warming, climate crisis. They think it's just people, fleeing governmental oppression, which is partially true. But a lot of these people that have been reported on coming across the border are just seeking for better lives. They just want work. That's all it is. They're not fleeing like persecution or somebody going against their religion or their faith, and their lives are in danger over it. Majority of people are just coming from different countries going, I want a chance at the American dream. Some of them are just naturally terrorists pouring across the border and murderers, sex offenders, all this stuff. It's amazing how you have people here, Federation of American Immigration Reform, saying, yeah, no, it's just Biden's policies. The Biden administration can't figure it out. The root cause of the surge of illegal immigration is the policies that the Biden administration put in place from day one and continue to implement in spite of the fact that we're seeing record numbers of people coming across the border. Remember, at the beginning of today's show, 4 more years, 4 more years. They want 4 more years of this. Folks, we're at 1.3 million illegal immigrants a year. 4 more years, and it's only going up. So let's make an assumption here. 1.5 a year times 4. Insane. 1.5 was that every 2 years, that's 3 million. You're having 6 million people a year at least that we're going to know about at least. Did I have that right? In 4 years? Insane. But they want 4 more years of this because it's not bad enough, you guys. It's not bad enough. Us throwing millions of dollars at this situation rather than spending it on Americans here, it's not bad enough. One initiative rolled out in fiscal year 2023 was the Alliance for Root Causes and Opportunities Project, which is designed to address the root causes of influence people from Central America to migrate to the United States through Mexico. This, now you see why I was so pissed about Johnson coming to some sort of agreement with the Democrats here on a budget, because this is the crap that's being sent. This is what we allow as Republicans. Stupid stuff like this. And then we go, $34 trillion in debt. Why do you think Democrats were $34 trillion in debt? Because you knuckleheads want to spend $40 million on one project. Why is there illegal immigration? These people are voting. These people are voting in the millions. Mexico was allocated $5 million in 2023 for the project, which was implemented through this a private international development company. Another $3 million committed to Mexico was designated for basic education. Folks, Yesterday, you guys said you needed stronger coffee. I think today is another one for another stronger coffee. This is like mud, what I'm drinking right now. I appreciate your responses yesterday on the breakfast stuff, by the way. The question yesterday was about breakfast. Some of you were having steak, eggs, potatoes, all sorts of stuff in the comment section. Some of you didn't even respond. Some of you just said, great show, which I appreciate, folks. Leave us a comment down below. It helps support the show, and I love your feedback, guys. That actually really made me feel good yesterday when you guys said, hey, this was a great show. Because even if you didn't, if you're like, hey, it was an all right show, like, it's nice to know because we can make things better, and I want to continue to provide things that you guys enjoy. And if you want me to continue to yell into the mic and be pissed about something, I can do that. It's easy. That part's easy. Because it's natural. Another 3 million again committed to Mexico for basic education, like I said. 2 million for agriculture in Mexico. Like, what? Like, who is getting it? Like, who are those in Mexico that's getting this money? And then 670,000 Mexicans crossed the southern border in the United States. Sounds like it's working real well, Joe. Just keep pumping countries full of our tax dollars. Awesome. Well, you also have Mayorkas here telling border agents that above 85% of illegal immigrants you're hearing that, are released into the U.S. What? I'm going to lose my ish. Keep it together, Brad. Keep it together. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas on Monday admitted to Border Patrol agents that the current rate of release for illegal immigrants apprehended at the southern border is above 85%. It could be in the 90s for all we know, you guys. Mayorkas made the remarks when meeting privately with agents in Eagle Pass, Texas, according to 3 Border Patrol sources who were in the room and heard the remarks themselves. The conversation happened during the muster for agents in the busy border area. Fox told Mayorkas was asked directly about comments he made on Special Report last week when he was asked by anchor Brett Baer about reporting that over 70% of migrants are released into the country. So just 50% difference. It's still bad. Like 70% are just being released. To who? You're telling me all these people have some sort of family affiliation here? Which we were told was happening. Like, oh, we're only going to put them out there if they have a family and that we can put them in homes and all this other stuff. Cool. It would not surprise me at all. I know the data, Mayorkas said. And I'll tell you that when individuals are released, they're released into immigration enforcement proceedings. There are alternatives to detention. And we have turned or removed a record number of individuals. He's doing this again. He's doing it again. It drives me insane. We have removed a record number of individuals. We are enforcing the laws that Congress has passed. That's a bold-faced lie. That part is a bold-faced lie. No, you're not. At all. Which is why, you knucklehead, you have 10 million people pouring across our border, which is an invasion. I love this whole aspect of the Democrats and these libs don't want to call it an invasion. Although, when Russia invades Ukraine with only 120,000 people, that's an invasion. Or when Israel goes after Hamas in Gaza, that's an invasion. But when we have 10 million people pour across our borders, which we don't know who the hell they are, that's not an invasion at all. Oh, it's just welcoming. It's just a welcoming gift. Oh yeah, we should house them. We should take care of them. Really? Because we don't have any money. We're like $34 trillion debt. And by the way, that guy that just crossed the border, yeah, he's a terrorist. Should we let him? That's fine. Don't worry. He's just looking for a better life. You don't understand him. You don't understand they, them. Insane. And then you gotta love this part, right? And we returned or removed a record number of individuals. Yes, you idiot. The more people you have pouring across the border, even if you kept the same rates and percentage-wise as Trump and prior presidents, because you have more people pouring across the border, even if you had a 10% rate of apprehension, because you have more people within that pool of people, that 10% could shoot up to a lot more people because you have more people pouring across the border. I don't know how many times I can fit more people in there, but you ask Biden that question, you're going to fit a damn lot more of illegal aliens into this country, and he's trying. Oh, he's trying. Fox is told that on Monday, agents pushed him on those remarks, saying that the number is even higher than 70%. And then Mayorkas acknowledged a release of above 85%, so that the dude's been saying 70. They pressed him on it. He goes, all right, you got me. You twisted my arm, guys. Okay, it's really 85 plus. So the dude's been lying, basically. He's just been flat out lying, which we know from time to time. This guy right here, this knucklehead, is a freaking liar just as much as Joe Biden is. This is the same idiot that sat there and told Jim Jordan in Congress, the border is secure, Jim. The border is secure. No, it's not, you idiot. That's 70%. It's 70%. Really? Really? Because we're seeing like 85, 90. Oh, well, I guess it is. You got me. This is a person that doesn't give 2 iotas about Americans, doesn't care 2 iotas about the country, just like our president doesn't care, our vice president doesn't care. And like you saw in our first episode, these knuckleheads here, 4 more years, 4 more years, it's great, 4 more years. Yeah, 4 more years of tearing this country apart. And speaking of tearing this country apart, not only are they trying to tear the country apart, they're trying to tear localities apart. And this comes from Democrat areas. We have a California bakery owner saying he suffered $70K in damages from street takeover looters. Why? Because anything goes in the state of California. And folks, I bring this up. You might be going, well, what do I care about California? I understand that. But the thing is that this stuff has the potential of rolling into your localities at some point, because where are some of these libs fleeing to? They're fleeing to your state. Oh, yeah. Just because we're always hearing, oh, no, they're going to Texas or they're going to Florida. That is true. They're also going to places like Tennessee, Idaho, these Republican conservative areas, the middle country, a lot of respect for our middle country Americans here. They're coming in there and they're going to vote the same way that they do here in your place. Now, if you get somebody from California and they're a Republican, give them a hug. The reason why is because California Republicans are more conservative by data than you are in a different state. Now, don't take that offense. You're like, I'm American, Brad. Folks, I'm not hounding you. I'm not going after you here. I'm just saying through data, through research, the conservatives, Republicans in California are so freaking patriotic, it's head spinning. That's why we got this show here. I live in California. The brave, baby. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And so, if you got somebody that's conservative Republican coming to your area, open arms, baby. Open arms. If you got a lib or dem, I'm sorry, because they're going to sit there and destroy your area. Because look what they're doing to California. And once they do this to California, they're going to do it to your state. They're already trying to do it at a federal level with Joe Biden, and they want 4 more years of that guy. The owner of a Compton bakery, which actually isn't too far from where I live, it's about probably 35 minutes north of me, that was looted by a group of more than 100 people and had a car crashed into it. Last week says his business suffered $70,000 in damage. Well, look, terrible thing. Curious. Again, this is the question I always am curious. What do you vote for? Now, this sucks for this business owner, regardless of who he votes for. But well, who do you vote for? Because if you're voting for Democrat, this is the result of it. This is the result of it. It's been going on for years. It's been going on for 10 years. They're not even prosecuting some of these people. The smash and grabs, that's why you have Prop 47 in effect, which granted Californians voted for, but Democrats voted for it, not conservatives. So if you're voting Democrat, this is the result of your voting. So I'm not saying you got what you deserve, because that's terrible. I actually don't believe that. But this is the result of what you voted for, and now it's hitting you straight in the face. So you have Ramirez Jr. here, the son of a Mexican immigrant, and the owner of Ruben's Bakery and Mexican food, told Fox News that his family is trying to rebuild after the incident, which is a terrible thing to happen. This is a terrible thing that happened to this gentleman. Quote, this has never happened to us before. We've seen street takeovers in the area, but it's never anything like this. And you know what? There's a bigger picture here. I don't know if this guy's Democrat or Republican. I have no idea. And truly, I don't really care all that much. But you see that people will continue to vote Democrat until it actually affects them. Well, I've been voting Democrat my entire life. I still vote Democrat. I've seen these smash and grabs everywhere in San Francisco, Sacramento, Los Angeles, just everywhere. But I didn't think it would happen here. Like, what? Like, it's only a matter of time before it happens, right? So that's why these Dems are all okay with, and these libs are all okay with all this illegal immigration happening, and all these smash and grabs and the crime and the fentanyl and all this stuff pouring across our border, because nothing's happened to them yet. They haven't felt the repercussions. They just see it on TV like it's a movie. And so once they actually have a family member pass away from fentanyl, or a legal immigrant beheaded their family member, or killed them, or hit them when drunk driving, or whatever it was, then all of a sudden they're up in arms. Oh, fuck that guy. No, he shouldn't have been here. It's like, we've been saying that this entire time, but you wanted to vote for it because you love Joe Biden. 4 more years. A group of more than 100 looters crashed a car in Ruben's Bakery, and then not only they crashed it, they ended up looting it in the dead of the night on Tuesday after an illegal street takeover, which began at 3 a.m. Where are the police? Where's law enforcement? There's nothing against our police. It's just, these types of things are happening all the time on our freeways. They're doing takeovers, just the natural streets, the businesses. It's happening everywhere. Among the items stolen were meat scales. We'll get into that. Meat, groceries, and lotto tickets. Folks, I'm not kidding when I say this. When you bring this up to some Democrats and these libs, and these lefties, these progressives, they go, Well, they just need to feed their family with lottery tickets. Like this is back when they were stealing like lip balm and toothpaste and lipstick and stuff like that, like tweezers and all this random stuff like CVS and Rite Aid, trash bags, and you have these libs. Oh, they're just feeding their family because of racism. That was their response. I'm not making that up. That's what they said. Yeah, they're just because of racism and discrimination. They need to feed their families with lip balm, lip gloss, like really shampoo. It's not like they're stealing essentials. Like, actually, meat here makes a little bit of sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're struggling, crime. I'm not saying this is a good thing. At least there gives some sort of like, oh, that does make sense that you're skipping over, you know, tweezers or Q-tips, hand sanitizer, and you're going straight for the meat aisle, the eggs and the rice. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you know things are bad, but that's not what they're doing, right? It has nothing to do with racism, has nothing to do with discrimination, has everything to do with a-holes in Democrat-ran areas doing things in which they know they're going to get away with because the cops don't do anything, and the prosecutors in the department don't do anything either. In the DA's office. Quote, the worst is seeing my parents, who built something for 48 years, to almost lose it because of this violence that's going on right now. Violence that's attributed to your voting. That's what it is. These street takeovers in Compton have been getting worse and worse, and I'm not the only one frustrated. My neighbors are here telling me the same thing. Again, if anybody that's in Fox News, we know that some of them do watch the show, anybody in Fox News, can you start, please? I'm asking nicely. When doing these interviews, when something happens to these people, it's atrocious, it's terrible. Please ask them who they vote for. Please. I guarantee you they're Biden supporters. And if I'm wrong, I hope I am, because if a conservative Republican has something happen in their store, regardless of really who it is, it's just terrible regardless. But I'm telling you, if it's even worse when you hear it's a conservative Republican, because you know there's a person that really doesn't believe in what's going on, and it's terrible. But when they're a Democrat or a progressive or a lefty or whatever, it diminishes it just slightly, where I don't have as much towards it in terms of feeling, because they voted for these things that are exacerbating this issue all across California, all across Democrat-ran cities. And speaking of, you know, the atrocities and the hubbub of it all, and the news kind of getting all crazy with Donald Trump and 4 more years, and Michelle Obama coming out and fear-mongering people, just look at this MSNBC guy for a second, this anchor. This idiot starts sobbing as he begins talking about January 6th anniversary. Like I told you, folks, they're going to sit there and like do a vigil for this thing as if it was a huge deal. Look, it was bad. Don't get me wrong. It was bad. But they're playing it up here because this is all the Democrats have. What are they going to run on Joe Biden's economy? What are they going to run on Joe Biden's grocery prices and gas prices and his great foreign policy? What do they have other than this? That's all they have is January 6th. So the details here are, prior to interviewing, was that Michael Fanone, a former Washington, D.C. police officer. Oh, I think this is the guy from January 6th that's been kind of, you know, finagling some stuff. His voice seized up and began to break as he struggled to say, I'm going to try to get through this. I'm telling you, folks, people are just not built the same anymore. They're just not built the same. Really? God, dude, these people, man. This is the best the left has, folks. MSNBC, this is the best they have to put forward. All right, let's just get to the clip. Here. I haven't seen it myself, but you know it has to be good. So this is going to be him getting all choked up over this stuff. Here we go.
I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today. Please tell me your thoughts on this 3rd anniversary.
Oh, God.
We are still in the midst of the same fight that began on January 6th, 2021. And we have a lot at stake in this country. And I think that it deserves every American's attention.
I think it's got enough attention. That's all Democrats have been talking about for like 4 years or whatever. Playing the same clip over and over and over again. So you got people reacting to this. As you might guess, the sob show annoyed a fair number of notable folks. State propaganda has reached a new level. This comes from conservative figure Colin Rugg. Said while calling Caphart's emotional display unreal. Absolutely. The guys, like, it's all fake, folks. It's theatrics. It's theatrics. Libs of TikTok said these people are pathetic paid actors. I mean, literally a paid actor. That's what he is. You also have the author Margaret Kimberly saying, move over, Van Jones. Now Jonathan Capehart is crying. You got a conservative pundit saying, Jonathan Capehart, you, my man, are a woman. The acting is so piss poor, it's ridiculous. It's hilarious. The more they push this, January 6th is the same as the 9/11 nonsense, and more hilarious it gets. It's beyond despair. I mean, it's wild that they're pulling the shenanigans, and he's just sitting there blowing his nose. Oh, God, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. Look, it was bad, but to sit there and play it up like this, I mean, come on, the theatrics of it all. Look, people might go, well, Brad, your show's pretty theatric. You're sitting there screaming into the mic, veins bulge and all this stuff. Yeah, granted, folks, I don't necessarily act like this in real life. It's for show. I've said that time and time again. I'm an introvert. I'm quiet. I don't talk all that much. I sit in my closet and record and talk and get the privilege of hanging out with you fine people. Other than that, I read books. I'm pretty much a loner. I'm by myself a lot of the time. Other than that, I have cigars and I leave people alone for the most part. I'm libertarian in that. I don't like bothering people. The whole purpose of me talking about this is it's theatrics. It's a show. You know, this is it's called the Bald Brad Show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take myself too seriously. It's called the Bald Brad Show. It's not called the Brad Roberts Show. If that was the case, it would be a lot more serious. The Bald Brad Show, because I'm making fun of myself that I'm bald. You know what I mean? I've mentioned this. You guys know this. Yeah, I get spicy, but it's so you guys are entertained. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to yell. I can talk like this. Like, you know, the guy's clearly a knucklehead, and I mean, he's sitting there sobbing, which is really ridiculous and kind of over the top in my opinion. And that other guy sitting next to him is even wondering, that Jake Paul looking guy with the tats and the sleeves, like, oh, you know, I'm worried about America, and this is the serious. Like, there's no fun in that, right? It's so monotone. There's no oomph behind it. You guys don't feel the impact. You don't sense the impact from it, the urgency, the importance of it. So when we throw in the show behind the show, then you see the craziness of it all. And so what I'm saying, long answer here, this guy is theatrical. It's bullshit. And I know you guys know that. Well, our last story of the day is talking about fatherlessness and one of the true root causes of crime in America. Now, this isn't a piece where I'm hounding it. This is a piece that is giving affirmation to what us conservatives and Republicans have been talking about for so long. This is something that's been echoed by Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell, who are both my number 1 and 2 guys. Thomas Sowell, I absolutely love. I read all his books. If you haven't, I highly recommend you get Thomas Sowell's books. We even quote him in my book, Trojan Horse: How the Left Destroys America. This has been echoed by everybody at the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Michael Knowles, Andrew Klavan, Matt Walsh, Brett Cooper, guys at the Blaze, like I think Steve Ducey still at the Blaze or whatever. You got Glenn Beck, Charlie Kirk at Turning Point USA. You got Dan Bongino from the Dan Bongino Show. Like, everybody's been using this data because it's been out there for decades. And so now it's just coming to fruition for some people, where you have this new study being done that suggests the presence of 2 parents in the household may play a crucial role in ensuring safer communities. Look, I've been talking about this forever. Everybody knows that 2 parents in the household decreases the chance of criminal behavior. If you have a single parent in the household, especially if you're fatherless, your chances of committing a crime and not being a benefit to society is exponential. So Wall Street Journal columnist Jason Riley, who recently wrote about this topic, argued on Sunday Night in America with Trey Gowdy that the biggest root of crime is fatherlessness. You talk to the progressive left, they don't believe this, you guys. I'm not just saying that. They genuinely don't believe this. You can see topic after topic. You have people like the Majority Report sit there and not believe this. There's other progressive leftists. He has a beard. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he doesn't believe this either. Oh, there's not enough data for it. I mean, anybody with half a brain could sit there and make at least an association between the two. Not necessarily a cause and effect because it's observational, but you could probably get pretty close to a cause and effect without actually running the study yourself in the determination that the biggest root of crime is fatherlessness. Why? Because just through observational studies, looking at the data itself, you see a constant theme amidst all these people that are committing this crime is a lack of a father in the household. But they don't get that. Riley referenced the book, The Two-Parent Privilege, by economist, was that Melissa Kearney, in emphasizing the significant impact of family structure on social inequality and the lack of discussion on this issue within academia in this country. You can't do that. Let me tell you, Jason, why you can't do that. Because they just shout racism at people. Because they're going to see a disparity in all races in crime and fatherlessness. And so, well, oh, it was white supremacy. It was white supremacy that this country was built upon. So black people, Asians, Indians, Hispanics, all this other stuff. Well, there's disparities amongst all races and ethnicities and gender and whatever it is. So it's all racism, it's all misogyny, it's all the patriarchy. That's all they throw back in your face. Why? Because they don't have a conversation about reality. They never want to have a conversation about reality. It's their way or the highway. So that's why, and if you talk about it in academia, you're just gonna be fired. Look at Jordan Peterson. That's a prime example. I mean, they tried to disbar that guy. Like, they tried to remove his license for just saying truths. Like, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. I mean, the left went so far to remove him from Twitter and to ban him from YouTube. They censored the guy. They did that with the editor-in-chief of the Federalist Papers, or the Federalist. They did it with Charlie Kirk. All these men, these three guys, just said a man is a man and a woman is a woman on Twitter and social media. And they got deplatformed. They got censored. They got silenced for it. So if you can't say an absolute truth like that, like if you said the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, censored. Done. Can't say it. It's a blasphemy. That's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Like, I don't know why I brought that up. People don't even believe in the Holy Spirit on the left, but you understand what I'm saying. Look at this. I think the bigger problem here is fatherlessness. Yes. It is one of the true root causes of this. We know the correlation between a child coming from a fatherless home and ending up in prison or on drugs, or a single parent himself, are more strongly correlated with whether that child came from a fatherless home than it is with race, than it is with ethnicity, than it is with poverty and income level. Now, again, we talk about all this. There's like a whole chapter dedicated to this and discrimination severities in my book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. One thing I want to highlight here is the word correlation. That's just a fancy word for saying basically association. It's more of a statistics term, a mathematics term. Is with a high degree of correlation, you can actually run what's called a regression line in terms of the people that are fatherlessness or have fatherlessness in the home and the basically the amount of crimes that are committed. And you can actually determine with a high degree of accuracy the correlation between those two variables and come to an assumption, a strong association between those two variables on how well they are connected. So basically the study's been ran and the left just don't believe it. Oh, well, the correlation is not strong. It is pretty strong. I think we're all there now that it's really strong. So when they say correlation, that's exactly what this is talking about. The only issue with that is, if you were to build an argument around it, is it's tough to build a cause and effect answer and solution to dealing with correlation at the same time. Correlation and association are kind of one and one, where cause and effect aren't really given to association, if that makes sense. So, for example, if this is an example I actually used in the classroom, if there was ice cream sales and shark attacks, you actually see a high correlation between the two, meaning that people that buy ice cream and go in the ocean have a higher chance of being eaten by a shark or bitten by a shark. But that doesn't mean that ice cream causes shark attacks. There's just an association between the two because the data overlaps. Turns out there's more shark attacks when the temperature's hot. People buy more ice cream when the temperature's hot, so they get in the water because the temperature's hot. So it kind of mixes together. But there's no direct cause and effect from ice cream sales and shark attacks, but there is an association, a correlation between the two. There's a strong relationship. So that's to give reference with what's happening here. Just kind of if you were to build an argument to, I don't want to say destroy the arguments being stated here, but to kind of have a different point of view, I suppose. So the FBI's 2022 Crime in the Nation data report, released in October 2023, revealed nearly 1 million vehicles worth more than $20 billion were stolen throughout the United States as a rate of motor vehicle thefts increased more than 8% nationwide. The rate of property crimes per 100,000 citizens also increased 7.1% from 2021 to 2022. 4 more years! 4 more years! They want this, you guys. It's not bad enough yet. You let me know in the comment section, or but also live chat. Is it bad enough, you guys? Is it bad enough for Democrats to not vote for Joey anymore? That's not what we're seeing. That's not what we saw in the video here. That's not what we saw in that video. You just saw a bunch of people in church supposedly believers in Christ, wanting more of this, of this, what we're seeing out there in the ether. Crime's going through the roof in like all levels. The total of 6.5 million related charges filed by police. Larcenies, the agency said, increased 7.8%. I mean, you just name it. Just throw a dart at the freaking robberies, homicides, theft. It's all going up. And they're probably happening in Democrat-ran areas. Gowdy pointed out, and Gowdy's my number one guy. Jason Chaffetz and Trey Gowdy were my two men that actually trusted in government, and they left because it was so corrupt. Pointed to Riley's recent column and referenced his argument that the best way to avoid poverty is to finish high school, get a job, and wait until you're married to have children. So this comes more from the Brookings Institute, which the left love to pick apart. But I mean, on its face value, it's a no-brainer that if you don't commit crimes, you graduate high school, you get a job, and you wait till you're married to have children, financially, that's going to set you up for success. It's pretty hard to screw that up in America, but people seem to do it. People seem to do it, and they blame racism for it, you guys. So here's the rate of property crime offenses by population. 2012 to 2022, you're starting to see it. It goes down, right, because Trump was in office. And then now it's going back up because Biden's in office, and that's what he loves. And also, you know, you have these Democrat-ran areas, which is what the article is going into, of how they're all just getting shellacked right now because of their policies and their lack of. And, you know, we all get screwed at the end of the day, Americans, especially conservatives, Republicans living in those areas. But hope you enjoyed today's episode. We didn't really have a question of the day. I'm not sure what we should add. Just give me some feedback on what you would like to see from the show. If you'd like to see anything different. If it's too over the top for you, let me know. Constructive feedback. Be nice. Oh, I have a heart. I'm sensitive. But let me know if you guys have any feedback. You want to see me to cover a specific story, or you're interested in something, or just, you know, I could go further in detail on things, but, you know, hey, we're already running 47, 50 minutes here on the show. And if you want me to elaborate more, like maybe you enjoyed, like honestly, maybe you enjoyed me going kind of in the detail, but the difference, more of a statistical analysis between correlation and cause and effect. If you want me to go further into observational studies, the biases that seep into this stuff versus a designed experiment, how these correlations impact one another. Like, what's the level of correlation? What's the actual R? Meaning if it's 0.4, is it moderate? Or if we're at like a 0.79, it's considered strong, meaning it's a good indicator. And how does this go into correlation coefficient, your R squared? If you guys want me to go into more stuff like that and actually elaborate on this so you have more understanding behind what's actually being spoken of here. So if you hear a Dem or a lefty or a progressive start giving their take on this, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about, you know, then you can be thoroughly equipped. But let me know. I don't think a lot of people are really interested in that. They don't want a mathematical lesson at 7 a.m. in the morning or 10 a.m. wherever you're at. Or we have people all across the world like Shibs in the UK. Salute you, brother. God bless you. But, you know, I do appreciate you guys coming in to the chat, always hanging out. I want to highlight something here for y'all. This is something I actually want to do at the beginning of the show, but then we stumbled upon Joe Biden just saying asinine things. And then you also have people chanting 4 more years, which is still just head spinning. Again, they're still going to vote for this guy. I know I keep repeating myself, but it really is freaking mind-blowing that they're going to sit there and continue to vote for this guy. What did I wanted to bring up here for y'all is this right here. Is it going to show it for us? Hold on, let me maybe do this. There we go. All right, let's actually zoom in here. This is all of you right here. Absolutely loved it. I want to do more of this, but the question of the day was asking, hey, what's your favorite breakfast? And I never really show what you guys write, but a lot of you were amazing yesterday, saying great show, informative. You guys, I read all of this. This is me clicking on it. Great show, Brad. So mind-numbing. It's incredible. 100% agree with you, Judy. 100%. Not wrong at all. Spot on. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. CC, see ya, baby. See ya. Great show. Thank you. Appreciate it. Amanda, really great show. So a lot of you this is great feedback. That means you guys liked it. There's probably more great shows than I usually receive. But Mike's throwing his stuff in here. Dawn, Paul, see ya, Paul. What's up? Judy, once again. Bev, salute ya. Perfect show. Live within your means. Absolutely agree, Jeff, by the way. A lot of people are struggling living within their means. I follow Dave Ramsey to a T. I have Dave Ramsey's app, his budgeting app called Every Dollar. Highly recommend it. It is free. Again, it's called Every Dollar. Just Google Ramsey Solutions. There's a lot of tools there for free at your disposal. Highly recommend it for finance and personal finance specifically. My wife says, I'm too controlling while I shop because I use cash and buy only that which is on sale. Scott, I absolutely love it. And I'm sorry, brother, she's not on board. Dave Ramsey, baby. Get her on Dave Ramsey. Buy her Financial Peace. It's a cheap book. She's going to love it. I want to get into people talking about their breakfast, like decaf. Like, stop the craze. He's only decaf. That's all he's decaf. Decaf? Great show. I saw some other people posting they eat like sausage and eggs and bacon. Where's all this at? I could have swore I read it. Are they deleting my comments again? And some people think I'm joking. Are they seriously like eating my decaf? Where are we at here? I'm sorry we're going on for so. There we go. Good show, Brad. It's big. What's up, baby? I eat oatmeal and drink a little OJ before I have my coffee. You know what's weird with me, and maybe somebody can give me an answer here. When I actually drink just OJ in the morning, it just upsets my stomach. Or if I just have like pineapple or something like that, it just tears me up. Not like you have to go to the bathroom upset, just like it feels like somebody just kicked me in the stomach whenever I have like orange juice. So I actually don't drink that anymore. I'm just straight coffee in the morning. I've been doing like 3 eggs and rice, which has been really helpful. I'm trying to lose weight here. I was at 202, you guys. I should be like 165. I'm a hefty guy. Okay. I love to eat. Look at, we got Mark. Mark, what's up, baby? I know you, Mark. I have sliced apples, sliced oranges, and grapes for breakfast. Mark's eating healthy. Mark is eating healthy, folks, and he's eating good. Look, he lost 10 pounds. Doing for 6 months. Hey, that a boy, Marky Mark. Hey, you know what, folks? Give it a shout out to Mark there in the chat. Brad, Democrats are running scared. They know Trump will win, and they can't cheat this time. They're going to try to cheat, though, Mark. I'll tell you what. They're going to try to cheat, brother, and they're going to try to cheat bigly. But I love the breakfast, and I love the fact that you're losing weight, folks. We should all encourage one another. We are a community here to just be healthy. You know, I forgot the brother that actually said that he has overcome addiction. I don't know if it's alcohol addiction and drug addiction or what it was, but I couldn't be more impressed to read that comment the other day. And that was, I believe, from maybe Sunday's episode when we were covering Democrats and drug use, which the freaking libs flagged again, so we can't get any ads off that. We're constantly being screwed by them. But I wanted to show you guys' comments. You guys take the time to write in here, and I do read all of them. So even if I don't heart it, like this one right here, boop, boop, it says, I live in Apple Valley, California. The California state government is a joke. These California politicians would cry if I confronted them. I would make them cry. I hate Democrats, and I can't talk to them anymore. They disgust me. Star, look, I fully understand that, and I appreciate your comment. Don't let what's happening hinder your relationships with your friends. And we'll come back to this in a second, because I actually want to highlight BDT72 here's breakfast. But don't let that hinder you, because if you really think about it, outside of politics, we have a lot more in common with our fellow Americans than I think what we tend to see when we spend all our lives watching, say, the Bald Brad Show, or maybe Fox News or Newsmax or One Nation or whatever it may be. You know, we spend a lot of time watching sports and concerts and watching TV and movies and, you know, a lot of stuff that's going on around us. We can really get behind other Americans that aren't a part of our political party. I understand where you're coming from, but, you know, if I could just say, you know, a lot of my friends, believe it or not, are Democrats. I grew up in California. I don't agree with them, but I would still like to be friends with them. A lot of my friends in Hollywood, when I was doing acting, aren't my friends anymore. They completely wiped me off the grid. But I'm not like that. I think that we should try to reach across the aisle. And I understand that I'm being a hypocrite right now because that does not come across in the show. But I don't think all Democrats are bad. I really don't. I've talked about this on the show before, and maybe I should do more of a better job of describing what I'm speaking of when I'm talking about Democrats. I'm talking about the type of Democrat that is more progressive, is more of a leftist, but still classifying themselves as Democrat. Some of these progressives classify themselves as leftist, but some of these Democrats are leftist, and they are under that party of the Democrat Party that don't share in our values of having a better country. They think the country's racist. They don't believe in your Second Amendment rights. They don't believe in your First Amendment rights. So when I'm talking about Democrats, that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about this type of Democrat here, you know, am I talking about the casual Democrats? A little bit. But, you know, for those people that vote for these Democrats that allow this type of crime to happen, I do think they're idiots. And some of them are my friends. And in that regard, you are an idiot. If you're voting for a politician that's allowing more crime, I think in that regard, yes, you are an idiot. And other stuff, maybe they're not an idiot. Maybe they're extremely smart in finance or mathematics or engineering, whatever it is. They're not an idiot in all aspects, in all regards. So it's just tough because you can't run a show with constantly describing that, if that makes sense. Like, I can't, every time I speak about Democrats, go, oh, well, I'm talking about this type of person. It's just more in line, like, applied. It's built into the cake, if that makes sense. I wanted to highlight this here. I think Mac, well, did your name used to be Mac? Is it BDT72? Didn't it used to be Mac or something like that? Look how good this gentleman's eating right here. Coffee, bacon, or sausage, eggs, and a little bit of toast. A little bit all-American toast, baby. That sausage is so good. Skip lunch, and then a homemade dinner by my beautiful Cuban wife. Ooh, okay. Life is good other than all the commie shitbags helping on destroy our country. Hey, you know, I love these. And so I sit on my phone. I don't know where my phone's at. And I actually have the app and I just swipe through them. Very rarely am I reading the stuff on my monitor. But I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. If you enjoy this stuff, me responding to your guys' messages, I have no qualms with doing that. I love talking about your guys' comments. You got Neil here. Can we get a shout out to Neil right here? Our boy Neil and his wife. I love you guys. They watch every Supernatural episode. They've been followers for a long time. I just want to give them a shout out. They are members. How long have you guys been members? 9 months. Oh my God. They've been part of us for 9 months. Sounds like children running our government. Absolutely. But Neil and his wife, they support us. If you're looking for Supernatural Saturdays, that's over at Spooky Adventures. Link is in the description. There's a lot of other people that are members here on the channel that I adore, and I absolutely appreciate the members that we have. And so if you want to become a member, don't feel like you have to. The link is in the description. The link is, I think it is in the description, but there's also a join tab right here that we do have. I'm not pushing it. It's just, again, if you guys wanted to become members, and I'm trying to find the list here, you know, think about doing so. It does support the show. It supports conservative thought and ideas. And I appreciate your support. And for some reason, I can't find the list here. I know there's, I think we got a handful, and it's not allowing me to find it for you. I apologize, but I'll try and see if I can pull it up on another episode and just give everybody a shout out that actually does contribute to the show. And you know what? All of you contribute to the show by watching all the way through, and you hit that like button, and you comment. I'm just greatly appreciative of it, and I just enjoy hanging out with y'all every single morning. I hope you enjoy hanging out with me every single morning as well, and just giving me your time back. With that being said, folks, I hope you have a lovely day. We'll see what happens here in the news with Joe Biden running the country. And with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow here